Ever asked yourself, was the moon landing real or fake? A question that has intrigued, puzzled, and divided people for more than 5 decades. A question that has sparked countless debates, theories, and even controversies. A question that has challenged our understanding of reality, history, and human achievement. Today, we dive into this deep sea of questions, unearthing the truth behind the moon landing. So buckle up your seatbelts, folks. Join me as we embark on a journey through time, back to 1969. July 16th, 1969. A remarkable day in human history, the launch of Apollo 11. Can you imagine the anticipation, the excitement, the sheer sense of awe that must have filled the air that day? This wasn't just another space mission. This was a monumental step towards an audacious goal, a goal that had been set by President John F. Kennedy earlier in the decade, to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth. The spacecraft that was chosen for this historic mission was none other than Apollo 11. A marvel of engineering, Apollo 11 was the culmination of years of research, testing, and innovation, all aimed at achieving one objective: to bridge the gap between our world and the moon. At the heart of this mission were 3 brave astronauts: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. These were not just ordinary men. They were pioneers, ready to venture into the unknown, ready to risk everything for the sake of exploration and discovery. Neil Armstrong, a decorated test pilot and the mission's commander, was chosen to be the first man to set foot on the lunar surface. Buzz Aldrin, the lunar module pilot, would become the second man to walk on the moon. And Michael Collins, the command module pilot, would orbit the moon while his companions made history on the surface. As the countdown began, the tension was palpable. The world held its breath, eyes glued to their television screens as the engines of the Saturn V rocket roared to life. And then, with a burst of flame and smoke, Apollo 11 lifted off, embarking on its historic journey. The launch was a spectacle unlike any other, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. It was a moment of triumph, a moment of hope, a moment that signified the dawn of a new era in space exploration. As the world watched with bated breath, Apollo 11 started its journey towards the moon. 4 days later, on July 20th, 1969, a human footstep imprinted the moon's surface for the first time. It was a moment that marked a new chapter in the grand narrative of human achievement. A moment where the impossible became the possible, where science fiction became science fact. The man to take that first step, to leave that first footprint, was none other than Neil Armstrong, a name that will forever be etched in the annals of history. Alongside him, Buzz Aldrin, another pioneer, another brave soul, ready to tread where no man had tread before. Once their lunar module, lovingly christened Eagle, had touched down on the moon's sea of tranquility, Armstrong and Aldrin had a mission to accomplish. Their work was not simply about stepping into the unknown, but also about understanding it, exploring it, and bringing back a piece of it. So, they set about their tasks with precision and purpose. Armstrong, with his heart pounding in his chest, descended the Eagle's ladder and planted the flag of the United States on lunar soil. A symbol of victory, yes, but also a symbol of hope and unity. For while it was an American flag that fluttered on the moon's surface, it represented a triumph for all of humanity. Meanwhile, Aldrin busied himself with collecting samples of the moon's surface. These moon rocks, as they came to be known, were more than just space debris. They were clues to the moon's past, keys to unlocking the mysteries of our closest celestial neighbor. Their activities on the moon, albeit brief, were intense and monumental. They left behind not just physical footprints, but also a legacy of courage, curiosity, and the relentless human spirit of exploration. As Armstrong famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Indeed, it was a giant leap, a leap that challenged our perceptions of the possible and the impossible. A leap that continues to inspire us to reach out for the stars, to explore the unexplored, and to always keep pushing the boundaries of what we believe is achievable. After spending over 21 hours on the lunar surface, it was time for the Apollo 11 crew to return home. The journey back to Earth was no less extraordinary than the voyage to the moon. The astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, had journeyed farther and accomplished more than any humans before them. The Eagle, the lunar module that had served as their home on the moon, was left behind as the astronauts climbed back into the Columbia, the command module that would take them home. After a successful liftoff from the moon, the crew of Apollo 11 set their sights back on their blue home planet, almost 250,000 miles away. 4 days later, on July 24th, the world watched with bated breath as the Columbia re-entered Earth's atmosphere. Traveling at a speed of over 25,000 miles per hour, the spacecraft withstood temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Yet, through the genius of human engineering and the bravery of 3 men, the capsule endured. The final hurdle was the splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. A parachute-assisted descent slowed the spacecraft, allowing it to gently land in the sea. Navy divers from the recovery ship, the USS Hornet, were on hand to assist the astronauts out of the spacecraft and into a rubber raft. Once safely on board the USS Hornet, the astronauts were welcomed as heroes. However, their journey was not yet over. Due to fears of potential lunar pathogens, the astronauts were placed in quarantine for 3 weeks. Still, they were celebrated worldwide. Their faces beamed into homes across the globe as they waved from behind the glass of their quarantine facility. And so, the first manned mission to the moon was completed, or was it? As we delve deeper into the events surrounding this historic mission, we'll explore the controversies and conspiracies that have arisen in the years since this monumental achievement. Stay tuned as we delve into the unknown. Despite the apparent success, many around the world started asking, was the moon landing a hoax? This question has sparked a multitude of conspiracy theories, some more convincing than others, but all questioning the authenticity of what is arguably one of humanity's greatest achievements. One of the most well-known points of contention is the flag planted by the astronauts. In the footage, the flag appears to ripple and wave, as if caught in a breeze. However, there's no air on the moon to cause such an effect. Some argue that this is irrefutable proof of a staged landing filmed here on Earth. Yet, NASA counters this claim, explaining that the flag's apparent motion is due to the astronauts twisting the pole as they plant it into the lunar surface. Without air resistance to slow it down, the flag continued to swing long after it was set in place. Another contention point is the multiple light sources that appear in the photographs. On the moon, the only source of light should be the sun. Conspiracy theorists argue that multiple shadows and highlights in the photos suggest additional artificial light sources, again suggesting a staged scenario. However, experts point out that the uneven lunar surface and reflective properties of moon dust could easily create these seemingly anomalous lighting effects. Finally, there's the issue of the missing stars. None of the photos from the moon landing show stars in the black lunar sky. Critics argue that NASA could not accurately replicate the starry sky and thus left it out entirely. NASA, on the other hand, explains that the stars are not visible in the photos due to the settings on the camera. The exposure was set to capture objects in bright sunlight, making the faint stars disappear from the images. These anomalies have fueled an ongoing debate, casting a shadow of doubt on the moon landing. But whether you're a staunch believer or an ardent skeptic, one thing is undebatable. The moon landing, real or hoax, has forever altered our view of what is possible. So, was the moon landing real, or was it an elaborate hoax? It's a question that has been dissected, debated, and defended for over half a century, yet it remains as intriguing as ever. Let's recap what we've explored in our journey so far. We delved into the launch of Apollo 11, an event broadcasted live to millions around the globe. We learned about the astronauts who embarked on this historic mission: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. We revisited the moon landing itself, a moment forever etched in human history. We then retraced their safe return to Earth and the subsequent controversy that emerged. The scientific consensus supports the reality of the moon landing. The sheer volume of evidence, from rock samples brought back, to the tracks left behind on the lunar surface, to the thousands of individuals who worked on the project, all points toward a genuine lunar landing. Yet, the persistence of conspiracy theories is undeniable. Skeptics continue to question the authenticity of the event, fueling debates and breeding doubt. But isn't that in itself a testament to the monumental significance of the moon landing? Whether you believe in the moon landing or not, there's no denying that it's a fascinating topic that continues to captivate us all. The moon landing, a inhuman achievement, a beacon of scientific innovation, and an enduring enigma. And that concludes Deep Dive into the Moon Landing. If you're interested in exploring more mysteries, unraveling facts, and challenging widely accepted beliefs, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Together, we can continue to boldly go where no one has gone before. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode.